Hi Aries, this is going to be a general reading for you guys for August 1st through the 14th. I'm going to be doing the first 2 weeks of August. I'm not going to be doing weeklies this month just because I'm really, really busy at work and I don't want to compromise my readings, so I'd rather do 2 in a month. And I'll try to plug in a specialty one in there, maybe what are they thinking or something like that. But for now, let's pull a Black Moon Tarot to get crowning energy from the universe. God, Spirit, Universe, anything that Aries needs to know right now, please. Anything that Aries needs to know for August 1st through August 14th. August 1st through August 14th, Aries. Aries, August 1st through August 14th. Okay, let's see what we have. 12th house, escape. All right, why don't we talk about that before we move forward into your Celtic cross spread. First of all, guys, we have a lot of really good stuff going on in the sky right now. That July 31st into August 1st, we have the new moon at 8 degrees of Leo. So that's all about manifesting. The only thing that might seem a little wonky on August 2nd is Venus in Leo square Uranus and Taurus. So you might have a couple of little unpleasant surprises having to do with love, money. Maybe your self-confidence feels a little kicked around. You feel a little scattered in the energy sector. But besides that, we have Sun in Leo, trine Jupiter and Sag on August 2nd. On August 7th into 8th. And that's really beautiful. It's about expansion and in love and money. And then we have Jupiter finally going to direct to 14 degrees of Sagittarius. Finally. So it's been retrograde since early April, right? I mean, it's about time because this is about expansion and blocks being lifted finally. Areas that you felt stagnant in are finally going to be moving along, really good, right? I like August 11th because then we also have Uranus goes retrograde at 6 degrees of Taurus. And that's where we're going to be in a place where we're kind of clearing out our inner space for all of these changes that we're going through right now. So it's really, really good. We have a lot of good stuff. And then on the 13th into the 14th, we have Sun in Leo conjunct Venus in Leo. Really exciting time for events to be moving forward. Just watch out for your ego on that day. But besides that, all really, really good stuff. So let's talk about this 12th house of escape. So here, this says it's time to get on point. It's not a time right now to ignore or overlook what's there because things may end up getting fragmented if you do that. So the 12th house... The 12th house is an interesting house. It's the most mesmerizing of all the houses. There's mysticism is indicated here, dreaming, drowning, vast seas, surrendering. We call this also the house of self-undoing. So it's a place in the chart where we tend to lapse in our judgment and can make some bad choices. And the sign of Pisces rules it, the 12th house, and it falls at the end of the zodiac, which indicates a type of like passage or rebirth. So you may be feeling that you're in that space right now, like you're going through this rite of passage, this rebirthing process within your life. But at the same time, this offers bliss, spiritual fulfillment, meeting up with twin flames. It promises like losing yourself in something really beautiful, some other kind of thing. But it might be like, I always say, trying to hold on to something in this energy is kind of like trying to hold on to a cloud. It's very difficult to hold on to anything definitive because things in this house are very unclear. They're usually not exactly as they seem, right? So when this comes up in a reading, something is amiss. There's something about a situation you're unsure about, or at least you're not privy to all the information. Just all is not as it seems. And without this information that you feel is missing, it's very difficult for you to move forward. So this could be somebody giving you signals and them being wrong. You thinking one thing about a situation and it actually being something very different. So really what's obvious here may only be a mirage. So this really does indicate you really trying to match reality with what's promised and anything like that. And the warning here of this card is to not look to others for fulfillment or to others to give you purpose right now, or at least not during the current phase that we're in right now. All right, it's either a bad time to attempt this, or you're looking to the wrong person to fulfill you in a certain way that you might be looking to be fulfilled. So just something to think about there. Just really watching and matching up words with actions very much in this energy, you know. 12th house usually gets a kind of a bad rap from astrologers. They call it the astrological dumping ground, but it's really not, okay? Because people who have evolved end up here. Because think about it, right? It's at the very end of the zodiac. So it's like it includes everything, every house in it. So in a way, that's really pretty incredible. But you just need to be careful of any type of illusion in there. Okay, so this represents your situation. I'm doing a Celtic cross spread. So the Hierophant reverse is your situation right now. This is what's blessing you, the Five of Cups. Your crowning energy is the King of Swords, okay? The Three of Coins reverse is in your foundation. The Empress is in your past. The Six of Coins is your near future. The Ten of Swords is in the you position, okay, what represents you. This is your external influence, the Nine of Wands reverse. Your fear is the Nine of Coins. And your final outcome, the World. All right, best outcome that we could have. You always want the world or the sun. You want one of those two, so good. Okay, let's get right into this. So we have the Hierophant reverse. This is a Taurus energy, and in reverse it shows, yeah, it shows you being misled by somebody. Exactly what this the oracle was saying, the crowning message from the universe. Yeah, you're being misled. Someone who's incompetent or very egotistical. Now, this could be at work or in your personal life. But this is someone who's more interested in furthering their own ambitions and their own agenda rather than supporting yours and respecting yours. So this could indicate that you're involved with a person or situation or even a company that's in need of restructuring their foundation. You know, this could to be a person just like seriously needs to restructure their moral code here. Because there's artifice indicated here. There's manipulation, you know. So here, it's better to seek your own path away from this person or situation than to stay in something that's clearly not going to suit your needs or serve your higher good ultimately. So this indicates it's a time for you to be a free spirit, Aries. And you guys are good at that. You guys are the leaders of the zodiac, right? You just are. It's just your archetype. God bless you, you know. And then we have the Five of Cups blessing you. This is a card of false appearances. So this shows me a refusal to see that your life is not as bad as you think it is, Aries. It's just not. You could pick up these two cups right now, and reclaim your life and make the changes that you need. You've been through some stuff, but that does not define your whole life. You have these two cups right here. Just turn around and get the cups. The chakra message here is the message that you, if the message that you send out is one of helplessness and despair, the universe will send situations to create that internal state within you. You follow? So it could be that your unconscious old ideas are actually running your life right now. Allow the universe to send you in some really awesome new opportunities. Change the message you're sending out and you're going to change your outcome. And remember, there's nothing permanent about pain. If we really allow ourselves to sink into it and really look at it, you know, and really look at it. Just release into a space where you're completely alone, right? And bring down that white light from heaven and breathe into it. Breathe into your pain. Allow your entire body to feel that light and stay in that space until you start to experience the shift. Because the white light, that white light is healing. It's healing. Okay? And I'm definitely getting that there's so much healing available to you and supportive energy, but you're not seeing it in some way. And I know that can be hard, especially if we've gone through some things that have knocked our ability to trust our own judgment, or maybe made us feel less than in any way. It's very difficult to flip the switch like that, right? And all of a sudden try to find the positives. I do understand that, but I have to give you what the energy is telling me. And then as the crowning here, we have the King of Swords. It's Capricorn and Aquarius energy, and it's also the 7th chakra energy, which is the place of true warriors, right? So he's standing ready and on guard, right, to protect what's yours and cut away anything that's no longer going to serve you. So the message here is to fully allow things to unfold before saying no to something, whether it's a person or an opportunity or a job or anything like that. Just make sure that what you're seeing is the truth. You may have created what you wanted, but it may not look the way you thought it would. And just know that you can change your original intention to fit your outcome now. You know? Clarifying discussions are very necessary right now for you to get clear on your real intentions regarding a situation. This is not the time for subtlety. This is definitely the time to be direct. Otherwise, you run the risk of repeating the past over and over and over again. And I know you don't want to do that. So think about the fact and be aware of the idea that your intention that you send out is a contract with the universe, and it requires great precision. And it requires you having a great respect, too. What you put out is what you get back. It really is so true, guys, right? So, and isn't that just the toughest thing, right? When we're in a weird space, not even necessarily bad, but when we're in a space of transition and we're thinking about 50 million things all at one time, it's very hard to stop and go all zen and say, only think positive things, right? It's almost illogical, right? But this is advice on, when you get those few seconds in between things, keep it positive, keep it real, and keep it honest. And meaning, make sure people are being honest with you. I'm not getting that you're being dishonest. I'm getting that people are maybe not being entirely honest with you, okay? Now, in your foundation, we have the 3 of Coins reversed. So this is Mars and Capricorn energy. This tells me that your work is very, very tiresome for you right now. And you might not be willing to put in the groundwork or any work at all right now, but not because you're lazy, but because you feel like you've kind of seen it all before, been there, done that. You've become quite cynical about finding a career or a relationship that you feel is really right for you. So maybe you took on a job, right? Maybe you started a relationship with a person based on things that were sold to you. Right? But you're realizing now that that job is actually very tedious and unfulfilling, and that person you thought you were involving yourself with is just, you thought they were supposed to be fantastic and they're just not what they originally presented themselves to be. So here you're going to have to do one of two things. Either push through the details of this job and the bullshit of the relationship that you're involved in, or make a shift and a decision to move on. One or the other. Because this is, as in your foundation, it's telling you you have to make a decision to move on so that you can manifest things for yourself. Right? Because the 3 of Coins energy upright is like, I call it the architect card. It's all about building. Right? So you want to build things. You want to build that foundation up. You want to build things towards your future, towards your higher good. But in the reverse, this indicates that you're really struggling with that. Right? So you have to make that decision so that you could push that upright and you could bring yourself some attainment. Right? Now let's talk about your past. We have the Empress energy. This is a Venus energy, and I like this. I mean, this tells me that you're in a place of really trying to tap into your abundance and material comforts. Your sensuality and your security, and just to feel emotional support. This shows me you having a very auspicious situation here regarding those of you who have children, with your families. You're just being in a space of being resourceful. Your needs being met and you feeling supported first and foremost. So to me, this shows happiness in relationships. And for those of you who are single, you may have started a new relationship during this time. but generally a very supportive and abundant energy is where you were, or at least where you thought you were, okay? Only because of some of the deceptive vibes that I am getting coming off here. And now in your near future, we have the Six of Coins. And while the sixth chakra is our sixth sense, it can also be inherited family beliefs. And we know the coins have to do with money, but it also has to do with our moral code, our values, our mental health, our physical health, and how we address these things, how we end up taking care of ourselves in our lives based on our family of origin, right? So this could mean anything relating to those things regarding our family. So it can, on the most mundane level here, this can indicate how we relate to finances based on the history that we have with our family regarding finances, right? Or how we view, how we handle our emotional state, how we illustrate the whole idea of being supportive and being supported in a relationship. You know, what does all of that look like, right? And are these ideas something that you should carry with you to serve your highest good? You know, on a basic level, this does show money will be coming to you and you being in a place of being able to pay off maybe some outstanding debt and or invest money for your future. If you've been struggling financially, this is a great sign that circumstances are going to be improving for you. Conversely, some of you may be helping someone else out who's in need of some money right now. But this is about genuine support and feeling very connected to those close to you. And you really getting in touch with what everything the coin means and really kind of taking stock of how you've considered all of these things growing older. You know, because look, some people were raised to believe that therapy is a very bad thing, right? That you must be crazy if you go to therapy, right? And whereas other people were raised to believe that it's a fundamental part of life and it's very healthy and there are all different types of therapy and whatever. And there's no need to label and it's completely acceptable. Same thing with money, right? I mean, some people are like, as soon as it comes in, you spend it, you know, you're only on this earth once, you know, kind of have a free and easy relationship with money. Other people are more into saving. So these are all like values, this value system that I get that you're going to really be evaluating in a very beautiful way in your near future. Like, to me, totally positive. That's really, really healthy. I like that. Then representing you, we have this Ten of Swords. It's a very scary looking card, Mercury and Virgo, but it's really not. This is actually a really great card. And this tells me that something in one part of your life has ended that needed to end, because it's something that's experienced a very long demise, right? There's a history here with the Ten of Swords. It's one sword at a time, over time, going in, you know? So these things could be just from poor choices over time. And that poor choice could simply be you allowing people or circumstances to walk on you. You know, walk all over you until it fell apart. And you not wanting to deal with being abused in any way anymore. This could also be generated from a lot of long-term negative gossip and manipulation. Can even create something like that. But regardless, bonds are broken in this energy. Situations are broken down to clear the decks for new possibilities for you. And you're probably going to find the finality of its release from you really like letting go of this extreme frustration and stress that you've been carrying with you in a way you probably didn't even realize it, or maybe you did realize it, but it was really weighing on you. Now, since this is in the you position, to me, well, first of all, this does indicate the end of an era, right? And the end of an era in your life, something ending as it was. So, because this is in the you position, I feel like this is you coming to the realization that the way you were up until this time, that version of yourself and your life up to this point no longer exists. Change has happened in your life. And whether you like it or not, you realize that everything that has happened to you has been necessary and it's been inevitable, whether you like it or not. So to me, this shows you accepting and allowing your transformation to happen. So I think that's very positive. And I laugh at a lot of you guys say in the comments how I try to put these inappropriate positive spins on negative cards, because I don't think anything is all bad. I just don't. This is just the ebb and flow of life, you know? It would be wonderful if we could just all have all the world and sun, woo, you know? But it's, you know, it's not, unfortunately, it's not the way life works, you know? Probably be boring that way anyway, right? Okay, now we have the Nine of Wands reverse as your external influence. This is a Moon and Sagittarius energy. And this shows me you having to deal with very unfair opposition from someone or a situation. And like being in a space of giving and giving and giving with a little in return. And I have to tell you, I think you're like the fourth sign that got this. It's like no matter how much you give, it never seems to be enough. And you feel like you're at the mercy of just somebody really unreasonable. So it could be a boss, right? Or could just be somebody very demanding children, demanding friends, demanding partner, demanding clients, somebody very demanding, you know? And this is a very demotivating energy, I always say, right? Because it's like you're dealing with situations and people that you at one time really enjoyed, you know? But now you're just kind of going through the motions, feeling very unsatisfied. And look, I do have to say this, only because it's a general reading, but equally so, Aries, this could be you being the one who's inflexible in your attitude right now. Only because this is a general reading, so I have to give different scenarios. But this does show either you or someone else becoming very defensive because certain conversations are being brought up that are highly uncomfortable. Typically, these conversations have to do with boundary issues in this energy. Because, what are wands? Wands are wands are moving forward. And when it's reverse, it's like there's some sort of dysfunction in the way something is pushing forward. So typically that does indicate like boundary issues, you know? All right, now in your fear position, we have the Nine of Coins, Venus and Virgo energy. And as a fear energy, this tells me that you're afraid that you're not going to be financially stable. You're worried about money, Aries. You're afraid that you're not going to feel safe and that you're not going to achieve what you're setting your goals on right now. And you're feeling some sense of guilt around money or frustration around anxiety around money for you right now. Now, if it has nothing to do with money, right? If money is completely not an issue for you, this can indicate you worrying about never feeling supported in a relationship. Emotionally supported. Never feeling mentally at peace with yourself in your life. Just never feeling quite as good as you'd like to feel, And just please avoid, if you're resonating with any of those scenarios, please avoid focusing that negative energy because you have an incredible outcome card and you don't want to do anything to sabotage that energy, Look at this, the World. This is a Saturn energy. It's the best crowning outcome you can have. Absolutely. This is about triumph and completion and reward for your efforts and just deserve success. Things really moving forward for you and your life beginning to feel really balanced at work and relationships and finances. Everything in your domestic area running pretty smoothly. This is another card that indicates a phase or an era coming to an end in a positive way. And you're going to be able to tap back into your confidence. And if you've been waiting for a decision or an opportunity to manifest, this indicates things turning in your favor and you living very mindfully and from your heart. This is entirely positive. Entirely positive. But this whole thing is really going to require you to really pay very close attention again to match up actions and words with a person or a situation in your life right now. This is very much the warning that I'm getting for you guys, because if you do that and you pay attention and things are handled as they happen, the changes are going to happen. These changes, this is change. Absolutely. But your money looks really good. And your relationships are going to end up really healthy. But I do get a lot of you guys are going to be dealing with somebody who, or maybe you're in a space of just being a little difficult, just very stubborn. But I do feel like this phase being over for you, the change happening. I feel like this is you guys settling into the change. You're settling in, and you're just trying to put your ducks in a row in the right way. So I like this. This is good reading for you guys, Aries. Yeah, for sure. All right, thanks so much for joining me, and I will see you next time. Okay, until then, bye-bye.